Hi, welcome to What's the Word? I'm your host, Jaime McFaden, and I'm so excited to have you here. This podcast is about all things wellness. Each week, we will focus on a word of the day, and I interview some of the most inspirational people I know and share that inspiration with you. Join me, let's learn together on What's the Word.
This is the place where I belong.
Hi, welcome to What's the Word? I'm your host, Jaime McFaden. This podcast is about all things wellness. Each week, we focus on a word of the day, and we give some tips on how to utilize that word to help change your life for the better. To kick it off today, our word is movement, which we'll get into in a moment, but really it means the act of changing physical location or position or a change or development. I am so excited today and thrilled to be interviewing celebrity trainer, health and fitness professional, master trainer at Active, and Mr. Abs himself, Kenta Seki. Not to mention, he's my bestie. We've been working alongside of each other for the past decade. Hi, Kenta. How are you?
What's up, Amy?
How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so grateful to be on here. Congratulations about your new podcast and show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. And so I want to get right into it. Why did you choose the word movement? What does it mean to you?
Well, movement right now is such an all-encompassing word because there's so much movement happening throughout the world, throughout the nation, and throughout each individual's lives. There's the coronavirus at the moment that's really causing a lot of movement, whether it's residential, commercial, global, national. There's so much movement that's happening. Whether we view it as for the better or for the worse, there is movement happening. On top of that, there's movements happening, whether it's the Black Lives Matter movement or any other type of movement pushing any type of agenda or belief or law, anything like that. But also there's also movement within our bodies, because so many people are quarantined right now and because so many businesses have been shut down or forced to change, people's bodies are starting to notice the difference. I know mine is definitely noticing the difference because although I'm still working out every single day, or most days anyway, I'm not getting my basic level of movement throughout the day that I used to because I'm not necessarily out and about as much as I used to.
Right.
And I'm noticing that's how it is with a lot of other people as well. So it's really important that we stress movements, in the positive sense, whether it's globally, nationally, within your own home, and especially within your own body.
Love, love, love all of that. So those are some gems already for everyone listening and watching right now. And what are some simple tips that you can utilize and share with our audience of ways to move? What are some simple things people can do today to start moving?
Well, it depends on what type of movement you enjoy. More than anything, I always tell people to do things that they want to do and they'll enjoy doing. I can give recommendations, that I would do, but sometimes might not be what's most accessible to people. For instance, for myself, I generally have like this large flat line throughout the day now because I'm not going out and about as much. And then at the end of the day, I have my workout, which is like an hour and a half, big peak of exercise.
Right.
So in order to increase the amount of movement I'm getting and increase the calorie expenditure and increase the activity I'm getting, I'm starting to add in little bursts of things throughout the day. So whether it's in the morning, I happen to have a spin bike here. So I've been starting to do spin, just about like 15 to 25 minutes some mornings just to get that heart rate up. It's not my normal thing, but I'm figuring, you know what? I'm going to add some movement to my day. So I'm going to start adding this in.
Would you start running? For anyone that
girl, don't push it.
Not a runner. I'm trying to push him to run with me.
Oh yeah, I'm not a runner. That's well known. But a spin bike is a good activity for me. But if running is your type of movement, then get that in. Or if walking is any type of activity to just get your heart rate up, get your body moving, get your energy flowing. And that can definitely help you stay positive and just keep moving forward in a positive way.
Right. And so now you just brought up the same word twice that I was going to ask you about. I've known you for many years, and you have by far been one of the most positive people in my own life and positive to everyone that knows you and everyone that you're surrounded with and all of your followers, all your fans. You have a very special and unique way of bringing this positive energy. And so now I'm curious, where does your inspiration come from? when it comes to, just always being, because you are very positive and genuine about it. So where does that come from?
Well, thank you. I try to be positive, because it's like where there's so much in life to be grateful for. I guess that's what it comes down to is gratitude. It's behind the positivity. There's so many reasons to be positive. I feel like if I'm not constantly pushing happiness and positivity into my life and welcoming it into other people's, then I'm not showing enough gratitude for all the things, the blessings that I have and that I think so many other people have as well. So by setting that basis of gratitude, I think makes it easier to be more positive and making it come from a genuine place.
Right. Yeah. And I couldn't agree with you more on that. So now, with that being said, for anyone that's listening or watching, we are all human. We can have tough times or bad days, off moments. Do you have anything that helps you kind of bounce out of that to get back to positive? Any tips that you can share of if you're having an off day, if you're not feeling so great, what do you do?
I think it's so important to live through all your emotions and live through and experience everything that you're coming through. You can't always be in this state of, but you have to be positive, you have to be smiling all the time. No, I think that's actually more toxic. It's called toxic positivity. And it is a thing. I think it's really important that we stress that it's okay to go through all different types of emotions, but at the same time to be aware of them and as much as you can be in control of them. So if you find yourself in a position where you're staying in a very negative space, start to develop tools to get out of that and move forward as quickly as possible while still living through those emotions and still acknowledging them and hopefully dealing with them so that you can make them better towards being positive. If that makes sense.
Right. Yes. And for anyone listening, that goes right into his word of movement. So movement is something like I know for myself, and I'm sure for you as well, it makes me feel better when I move, right? So that's the greatest, in my opinion, byproduct of movement, of any movement, because if we're moving, we're growing, we're learning, we're expanding, and that brings a lot of the positive energy into and out of our body.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, do you know is there any sort of, when it comes to movement, any sort of misconceptions that you see people doing where, like, for example, I see people say, oh, if I don't have an hour, I'm not going to work out. Right. So is there any common misconceptions that you can kind of debunk when it comes to movement?
I definitely think that's one of the biggest ones is that in order to get in a workout, you have to dedicate this large amount of time specifically towards that. But ultimately, it's not just about a moment, but it's about moments throughout the day. If you just add in a few minutes here, or just park your car a little bit further and walk that distance, or if you just stand up and do a couple squats in between your work throughout the day, it adds up over time. So I like to recommend people wear like a monitor, some type of wearable device if you can, to track your calories, track your steps, track your heart rate, track your calorie burn, something along those ways, so that if you have a specific goal, you're able to view it digitally and track your progress. So that way you're able to kind of see what it is you're doing and set goals in that way.
Right, right. And now getting into inspiration, because you yourself are such an inspirational person and you inspire so many, including myself. Who moves you? Who inspires you?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's not to get spiritual, but God, honestly, is my biggest spiritual mover and motivator. I really believe that the main reason I am here and we all are here is for some bigger purpose, not necessarily some religion or some specific type of God, but I really just believe that there is a reason we're all here. And as much as we can to try to help each other and try to push positivity forward and get further along as a species and as individuals. So that's always my biggest motivators. Behind everything that I do, God is always my base. And then beyond that is then to take it to the people, who am I helping and why? How can I help other people get better? And I genuinely, truly believe that. Anytime I'm about to teach a class, anytime with Active, I'm about to get into recording, I always take a moment to just close my eyes and just say, God, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I hope that what it is that I'm doing helps the people on the other side of this, in any way, regardless of what it is. And sometimes I help people without even realizing it. We help people without even realizing it. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. So as long as, for me anyway, I always make sure I'm bringing God in. I know that I'm always pushing positivity out.
Right, right. No, that's beautiful. Beautifully stated. And now, is there in your movement journey, your fitness journey, your wellness journey, is it something that you were always into, or is it something that you were inspired to get into?
I mean, it's always been in my life. Activity, body movements, exercise. It's always been in my life. Ever since I was a kid, my dad was on the side. He was a martial arts instructor. He was a black belt martial arts instructor, and I have 9 kids in my family. And he would have us all exercise at the end of the day. We'd all like sit around and do military style sit-ups. Everybody would lock their toes under couches, and he would count it out, and we all go up one, down, up two, we'd all do push-ups together. Oh yeah, we're all little kids, from like 2 years up to like, a couple teenagers, all of us working out together. So, and all the more importance of parents like yourself pushing it and being examples towards your children, because you never know how far that can affect their lives.
Right, absolutely. That's so amazing and incredible. And I do know from what you and I know about each other is that you really, I feel like your first real love in health and wellness was in yoga, and you were inspired by your sister. But then something a lot of people don't know about you is that you also are a fire dancer. Can you share any information about that?
That's right. Yes. So yoga was my first love in fitness, as you mentioned. My sister was doing it, and I thought it looked really cool, like a martial art or something. So I started doing it with her, and that's what got me into fitness in that way. And then being part of the yoga scene in Santa Monica, I would be going through all the different, yoga studios out there, hanging out there. And then we would go to the beach afterward, Venice Beach. And there were fire dancers there. A lot of times they'd be practicing either with their tools on or off fire. And that even was way more cooler to me. So, so my sister got into it first. And again, I was looking up to her, and I was like, I want to do this too. So I started picking up some of the toys, and my younger brother picked up some toys too. And we became our own little dancing fire troupe, and we would perform at parties. And we all got all kinds of different types of tools and specialized in different things. And it was a lot of fun. It was a fun part of my life.
For anyone watching or listening, Kenta, can you please share with me a video or a photo later of you fire dancing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The worst part is this was all pre-iPhone, because I was how old was I? Maybe 18, 19. So like it was right before video phones came out. So like you have to have an actual video camera, to videotape things. So they weren't as prevalent. So it's like, I wish I had more footage. I didn't even think of it at the time. People weren't carrying around phones, but I do have some, but that's not nearly as good a quality and content as I would have now if I were continuing fire dancing.
Can I entice you to do fire dancing for Sophia's next birthday, and we can record it then?
Oh my gosh. I'd be down. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure she would love that. I know she would love that.
Okay, so there we go. We've got Kenta saying on camera that he will do fire dancing. So everybody, just so you know, it's happening. Yes. Now, is there anything else aside from fire dancing that would surprise people about you?
One thing that I didn't even know I wanted to do, it was never part of my life or my goals growing up, and I'm now starting to consider it more, is potentially being in some type of position of public office. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I need to help change the world for better. And the more I'm starting to see how the world works, the more I'm starting to see that being in positions where you can affect the legislation and the laws and the rules governing the society, the more likely you are to make the best type of change. So I'm starting now. I'm on my neighborhoods association. I got voted into my neighborhood association. We manage the 800 homes in my neighborhood. And I'm the secretary on the board, and we help pass all kinds of different things for the city and help our neighbors out around here. So I'm doing what I can with the society right now. But who knows, maybe in the future I might do something a little bit bigger. We'll see.
I love that. And that goes right into your word with movement, because we're constantly moving. So things can be shifting, things can change. And maybe for anyone that's listening, this might even inspire them that maybe there's something that they weren't really thinking or anticipating they would get into or do, but by listening to you right now say that this is something that, hey, it means something to you. And the more and more you've thought about it, the more you might want to move in that direction, which is amazing and incredible. So now,
And can I add on to that? Sorry, just with what you just said, it's about moving in a direction. You know, it's not necessarily about moving to something. It's just about moving in a direction, whether it's just a small step. Sometimes you may have larger goals, but just doing something small, you know, like again, for right now, what I'm doing with my neighborhood, it's small, but it's still a step in a direction, and you never know where it can go. So regardless of what anybody's goals are or whatever anybody wants to do, make a movement, do something, you know, whether it's just even voting, making sure you're voting, making sure you're pushing some type of agenda, showing up to some type of meeting, taking some type of certification, whatever it is that you want to do for your goal, do some type of small movement in that way, and you never know where that could lead.
Right. I love that. So I was just getting into the next question, which is a few simple tips that you can share with whoever's listening right now in summary of everything that you've just talked about with moving. If somebody's listening going, okay, I'm so inspired right now, how do I start? Like whether it's fitness or not related, whatever it is about moving in a direction, like, do you have any tips that have inspired you or helped you to move? Because clearly right now it's like, let's be honest. I just saw the other day, The Rock's mom posted about you. You've trained so many celebrities. You've been on TV numerous times. You've done so many incredible things to help a bigger community, especially in the fitness world that I have seen and I've witnessed. So what are some simple things that you can share with someone to say, hey, if you're thinking about movement, whatever it is, what are some tips that you can share?
Well, thank you. And it goes back to what I was just talking about before. It's number one, don't overthink it. You know, so many people think of what they want to do or have this goal, and it scares them because they're looking from the bottom all the way up. But if you look at any type of goal, it all starts with a single step. It all starts with a single movement. And sometimes some of the biggest accomplishments I've had in my career, in my life, happened because of the smallest thing that I didn't think would do anything. At the moment, I was like, oh, this isn't anything, but okay, yeah, I'll do this. And then boom, it turns into something else. So you never know what movement can lead you somewhere. So number one, don't be scared of your goal. Don't be scared of what the progress that you'll need to do and the work that needs to go into getting to that goal. And number two, find something that's accessible to you that you can do. And then number three, follow up on it. You know, take the first step, and then how can you take the second step? Take the third step. You know, if we're talking fitness, you know, again, one step you can do, just find some type of daily activity or movement you can do in an amount of time that is accessible to you, whether that's a 5-minute workout, a 10-minute workout, an hour workout, great, whatever it is for you, do it one day, you know, set a goal. Are you going to do it 3 days this week? Are you going to do it 5 days this week? And then follow up with that. And then great, you accomplished 1 week. Okay, now let's do it again the second week. And then let's do it again the third week. Take it day by day, week by week, and that's how you get to your goal in the end.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So now we're going to get into our final segment, which is our quick round. Super fun. So all right, you ready for it?
Let's do it.
Okay. Pizza or tacos? Go.
Girl, tacos on pizza. Taco pizza. Fold my pizza, eat it like a taco.
Love it. Least favorite exercise?
Running. Girl, you know this. Running.
Something you're afraid of?
Oh, come on. I don't know. I mean, I want to say failure, but at the same time, not, you know? So tough.
Okay.
Very tough
fine.
question.
We'll skip over that one. Favorite song right now?
Oh, The Weeknd, Blinding Light. No, The Weeknd, not Blinding Lights. The Weeknd, After Hours.
Ooh, so good. Love The Weeknd. Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Go.
The all knowledge, ability to know everything, anytime, about anything.
Love it. And your favorite celebrity moment?
Meeting The Rock. You know, now that I'm working with his mom and training his mom, like I've met a lot of celebrities in my day, but he was the first one I've ever met that I was actually a little starstruck by, and I was shocked that I was starstruck. You know, I knew I was going to meet him that day, and I was going in like, okay, I'm going to meet him, whatever, he's probably going to be a douche, he's probably going to be blah, blah, blah. I had all these preset notions in my mind. But after meeting him, while talking to him, I was like, why am I feeling like this? what? Why am I in shock right now? Like, he literally is a very impressive person, a very impressive energy to be around, a very genuine and a kind person, way kinder and more positive than I expected to be feeling. So, yeah, definitely very cool celebrity moment there.
Love that. Well, he's been on my vision board now for like 3 years. So can I meet him too with you?
I, if we can, yeah, girl, we'll see.
One of these days, one of these days. I love it. So now, Kenta, thank you so much. Is there something that you've been working on or anything else you want to share with us as we wrap this up? And where can we find you?
Well, you can always find me on social media, right? My name is Kenta Seki, at Kenta Seki on all social media platforms. I'm also on Active with you. We have great audio and now video workouts together on there. I'm also I've been on the FitOn app, FITON. It's the #1 free video fitness app. I've recorded workouts for them earlier in the year, and I'm so excited to announce that I'm now going to be signing with them and being with them for the next 2 years. So you can find me on FitOn.
Congratulations.
The #1 free fitness video app. So check me out on there.
So now, everyone that's listening, you do not have any excuse not to move today because Kenta just gave you like free workouts. You could go to him for inspiration. And Kenta, thank you so very much. I am so thankful to have you in my life, your positivity, your movement. You move me, and I am beyond thankful. So I send you my love, and I can't wait to see you and hopefully hug you soon.
Thank you, Jamie. You too. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me here at What's the Word. Follow us on social media with the links on the screen, and don't forget to like and share with your friend. Your support helps us grow and continue to make inspirational content. See you next time on What's the Word.